I'm Shannon Amdahl, and as a seasoned broker, I've taught over 200 agents and taught multiple brokerage owners how to scale their brokerage. When I started my first brokerage, I had just moved to a new area. I took 19 listings my first month, and I sold 50 houses my first year down there. So in this video, I want to talk to you about the right questions to ask and the right conversation to have when you encounter someone who wants to sell their house. Like, how do you get yourself from here to an appointment and a signed listing? So let's jump into that. Basically, that is the goal. I want you to realize sometimes it's nice to zoom out and see the goal first. So the goal is to go from whatever conversation you're having, whether it's over the phone, even over a text, or if it's face-to-face somewhere, to getting an appointment, hopefully at the property, to see that house and to continue the conversation with them. Over 75% of people list or work with the first person they meet face-to-face. So keep that in mind. That's like where we're starting from. Okay, now, so let's say you're talking to someone and they say, hey, yeah, I'm thinking about selling my house. So what are the best questions that will keep that conversation going? As a newer agent, a lot of times you're kind of frozen like, oh no, I've got somebody, it's go time, and I don't know what to do. So honestly, the more you can practice and rehearse for this, you'll have a lot more confidence for one, but you'll have go-to things that you can pull out as those questions and new things pop up. So at least you're going to feel a lot more comfortable and a little bit more prepared. So you're not just completely blindsided. It's just having a normal conversation with people, and everyone hypes it up so much and gets so nervous, but really just think, if you were talking to someone and you were saying, hey, I was thinking about selling my house, what are the next logical questions to ask? Oh, why are you selling your house? And so that's, one of the first questions. And then where are you going? So if you're going to sell, what are you doing? Are you going to stay in the local area? Are you moving to a new area? And if you are you going to buy something or rent something wherever you're going? And so those are some of the first couple of questions. And then when are you thinking about selling? So once you ask the why, that often pulls a string that leads to the other things that you kind of can start piecing together the scenario of what's going on here. So if they say, well, I've actually got a job transfer and I'm going to be moving here and I'm going to be doing it at this time. That answered all three of those questions in one question, right? So then you say, oh, okay, now you understand the why behind it and you can start to see the motivation. Sometimes they're like, man, the market's kind of hot and I want to see if, how much I can get for it. Well, some of those sellers aren't going to be that reasonable in their price and they're not going to be willing to come down or negotiate. And so sometimes those aren't always the best listings, but I would pursue every listing opportunity you got for sure. But just recognize like the motivation that's there. Oh, I'm getting a divorce, or maybe somebody died and there's a probate sale. Like those are properties that have to get sold. So there's a motivation. Now we know someone's going to sell the house. It's just a matter of whether you're going to be the agent that's going to help facilitate that transaction. So starting with those questions of just where are they going? Why are they moving? When is it going to happen? Then as you do that, you want to start thinking about how you can insert yourself in a helpful way that will continue the conversation. So if they're not ready right now, maybe what you can do is say, well, would you like someone, would you like me to come over and I could show you like how much your house is worth right now. I also could take a look at the property and I could let you know if there's anything you could do to kind of maximize the amount you're going to get out of it. It's amazing how small things you can do can make a big impact for you being able to sell it faster, have an easier time, and make more money. And I'd be happy to come over and just give you some tips. It doesn't cost anything and I don't mind at all. I'd be so happy to do that. So then if they're out a little ways, you can say, and then there's no pressure because you've got time to get all those things done. And I'll stay in touch with you and help you see like where the market's trending and, kind of help you stay abreast of, the prices and everything. So you definitely want to be thinking like, what can you do that would be of value to them that's going to get you an appointment where they would say, oh, yeah, I definitely want that. I want you to come over. Now, if they're already working with another agent, they're going to tell you that. They're going to say, oh, my friend's a realtor. She's going to be the one selling it. So that might happen. And of course, we always need to remember to ask if they already have, started a relationship with another agent. We don't want to step on anybody's toes, but just be aware that That's basically what you're trying to do. And then obviously, if they're going to be moving quickly, like something's happening and it's got to happen right away, then you definitely want to say, okay, well, how can I help you? Do you need anything to get the property ready? Can I recommend a landscaper, a painter, a roofer? Do you need any help with things like that? And honestly, just being that resource for people is what really pulls them in. Too many agents kind of push at people like, oh, I'm the best and let me do this, when really what you need to do is draw them towards you by offering them things that have value to them, where they would say, oh, yeah, I want to do that and I appreciate the help. So that's honestly how you should navigate that with all your buyers and all your sellers, is that's the right way to think. Now, one other little point I want to mention, that often I see new agents kind of have a blind spot for this. I've seen this over the years. So just a little thought, and think of it both ways. So if this is a seller and they're going to be moving somewhere else and they are going to buy, do they have an agent helping them there already? Because if they don't, you have an opportunity to sync them up with another agent and collect a referral fee. So think about that. And then of course your buyers, if they're moving and going somewhere else, it's the opposite side of that. So always find out if they're going to buy another property, and if it's not in your local market, if you can help them get connected with another agent. So basically, that's how you navigate from a conversation to an appointment.